Hey, what's going on there, Dice Rollers? Paul here, and I'll be your DM for a while. And today, I want to ask you a very important question. Are you a new DM who's struggling with your magic items? It's an important question because I know as a young DM, I struggled with, well, when should this magic item come out? And is that too powerful a magic item? And, how many magic items should I have? All the questions. But today, I want to talk to you about how to banish these boring magic items and quit worrying about that kind of stuff, because let's look at it this way. Bilbo found the ring fairly early in the movie, and it drove the narrative. So why can't your magic items that you put in, regardless of whether they're common, uncommon, rare, very rare, wondrous, legendary, whatever it may be, why not make those work for you and work for the story you're trying to tell? Or simply make the story you already have that much more exciting. So let me show you 2 ways to make your magic items a little bit more magical. The first way is by taking the magic item and making it something unconventional. Let me show you a little graph that I came up with. You see, in this graph here, the magic item is at the center. Why does a magic item have to always be the thing that you see in the book? If you see a magic item in a book and it's a ring of invisibility, why can't you have a mount of invisibility? And boy, a mount of invisibility would be kind of cool because your animal turns invisible. You're riding maybe on this invisible creature. Maybe it turns you invisible as well, or maybe it's optional. Maybe you can be seen, but the creature cannot be seen. But that would be a fun take on a ring of invisibility. Instead of having a cloak of protection, why not have a turkey leg of protection? And every time the character takes a bite of the turkey leg, well, it diminishes their protection. And when the turkey leg is finished, well, then they go ahead and lose all their protection. Why not cater the magic item around the player's character? If they're a chef, let's say, their background is in being a chef, then why not give them a ladle that has some sort of protection to it? Then instead of giving them a headband of intellect, why not give them a ladle of intellect? And in addition to your intelligence being 19, you also expand your recipe knowledge. In other words, you can cook for various creatures. You immediately know what a creature likes to eat and maybe could whip up a little meal for them to be able to bribe them. So don't worry about what magic items you want to put in. Put in what you want. Just make sure that whatever the magic item may be, find a way to put a little spin on it. Make it work for your narrative and make it complementary towards your characters. Now, some of the work has already been done for you. You don't have to think too hard about this because on page 143 of your Dungeon Master Guide, there is a random table of quirks. Let's take a look at that. So here we have a D12 random table of quirks. Things like blissful. While in possession of the item, the bearer feels fortunate and optimistic about what the future holds. Butterflies and other harmless creatures might frolic in the item's presence. Confident. The item helps its bearer feel self-assured. Covetous. The item's bearer becomes obsessed with material wealth. Frail. The item crumbles, frays, chips, or cracks slightly when wielded, worn, or activated. This quirk has no effect on its properties, but if the item has seen much use, it looks decrepit. Hungry. This item's magical property functions only if fresh blood from a humanoid has been applied to it within the past 24 hours. It needs only a drop to activate. Loud. The item makes a loud noise. Metamorphic. The item periodically randomly alters its appearance in slight ways. The bearer has no control over these minor alterations, which have no effect on the item's use. So you could have a table that rolls up, says, look, now your magic wand is a turkey leg, or your item has now looks like a giant pencil. I mean, it could be literally anything, but have a table there to be able to roll up what that will look like as the item changes. Muttering. The item grumbles and mutters. A creature who listens carefully to the item might learn something useful. Painful. The bearer experiences a harmless flash of pain when using the item. Possessive. The item demands attunement when first wielded or worn, and it doesn't allow its bearer to attune to other items. Well, it sounds a lot like Thor's hammer. Repulsive. The bearer feels a sense of distaste when in contact with the item and continues to sense discomfort while bearing it. So you can see the items in your game don't have to be boring. They simply have to have a purpose or be a part of the narrative or give it some flavor. And that way it gives something for your players' characters to kind of work with, have a little fun with. This is also to say that I don't think that every item has to be like this. You could have a table that just says nothing. It's a normal item, whatever it is, and it functions as it is supposed to function. And rolling up these various things is not meant to, nerf your characters or nerf the magic item. It's simply to drive more story. In addition to quirks, yes, an item can be cursed and there can be side effects. Maybe one of the quirks that you have is that you have weight gain or weight loss, or your height changes, or you have bad breath, or you become very loud talking, that no matter what you say is super loud. And maybe it only lasts for 24 hours every time you use the item. So if you have gauntlets of ogre power, maybe you smell like an ogre every time you do an act of strength with them. Or maybe the item they find is hunted. It could have on a random table on your quirks, it could be hunted, that somebody has lost this item. So example, if you find an Afriti chain, well, maybe that Afriti lost it. And in so many hours, you could just roll that up and say in 6 hours, well, this Afriti is going to come looking for it. And maybe then you have an encounter that really spices up your adventure or takes it in an entirely different direction. I may have told this story before, but I ran a game not too long ago where a character bought a magic item, did not know what the magic item did. And it was a black stone, just a rock. No idea. They thought they'd buy it. Fine. They bought it. And I wound up rolling up on a random table that it turns into a 6-foot obelisk. But that's just completely random. Happened in game. And it had effects because she tried her magic item in an elevator that they were in that was falling, and it made the elevator fall faster. But who knows what other ways she would have found to use that obelisk once she knew what it did. Maybe that obelisk had magic runes on it that led to a treasure. So you as the DM can add even more flavor through your magic items, and nothing has to be boring about them. And if you're worried that it's going to be too powerful, once again, add a quirk, add something to it. And yes, it can be powerful, but you know what? That can drive the story as well. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching today. I'd like to hear from you. What do you think about magic items in your game? Have you used them to their fullest potential as far as the story or the narrative, or in the quirks that you can have? Have you played it up? I'd like to know what you've used in your games. Leave me a comment down below. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click that subscribe button, and you'll get videos like this in your inbox on a regular basis. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.